Thank you for joining us for this morning's press conference featuring the Ohio State Buckeyes women's basketball team. To my left would be Taylor Mikesell on microphone number 3. To her left would be JC Sheldon on microphone number 4. We will be taking questions for both players in-house as well as online. We will take the in-house questions first, the online questions after. I ask us this time if you would please mute or silence your phones so that we will not have any disturbances or distractions during the course of the press conference. Daniel, you good to go? Okay, roger that. And who would like to go first?
Taylor and JC, for each of you. Taylor, you've played in this tournament before. What would your advice be to your teammates? And JC, what do you expect in your first NCAA tournament? How good is it, I guess, just to be here for both of you?
I think, this is the most exciting time of year. So I think the advice I would give to my teammates is to just enjoy the moment. And I think just do what we've been doing this whole year to get here. At the end of the day, we don't have to make it bigger than what it is. It's still a game at the end of the day. So I think the advice I would give is just to have fun and enjoy the moment.
Yeah, like she said, I think anybody who loves basketball, this is the best time of year and the most exciting time of year. But I think as long as we play our game, stick to what we do, and stay together, it should be fun.
Did you guys stay up late or get up early to check out Missouri State? And if so, what do y'all know about your opponent?
Yes, we did. We came to the game last night. They played well. They got a nice, good feel for the arena, too, of being able to play the first game. But, I think excited for that matchup. I think it'll be a really good test for us. They run really fast in transition, and they play hard, and they rebound well. So I think it'll be a good matchup for us.
Yeah, like she said, we got to watch them last night, and then this morning we got to watch some more film on them. So we're going to continue to prepare here at practice today and go through some of their stuff. But they're a good team. They play well together, and they, like she said, they push in transition. But we're excited.
The schedule wasn't as daunting as the makeup games on the men's side, certainly for Ohio State from your perspective. But just in terms of having the Big Ten tournament, your two shooters, Taylor especially, 105 threes, having that week and a half off, has that allowed you guys to kind of get physically right, to get your legs back under you? Do you think that can be a benefit, or maybe not a benefit going forward in this tournament?
Yeah, I think at least I can speak for both of us. We didn't take much time off, so I think that helps us in a way. We find a way to stay in the gym, but I think it definitely probably benefit our legs a little bit. But we're going to continue to, even today, work in practice, and then tomorrow we're excited to play.
Okay. Is that all for the room? One more?
A thought on Missouri State, if you don't mind, each of you.
Yeah, kind of like we just said, they're a really good team. I think they won their conference again this year. They were a Sweet 16 team last year. So they definitely deserve to be here. They run really fast in transition. They rebound the ball well, and they just play hard together. So I think it's going to be a really good test for us, and just excited to get out on this stage and play here.
Yeah, like Taylor said, they play really well together. They move the ball really well. They push it in transition, and we're going to have to be ready to play for sure. I mean, especially in March, if you don't come ready to play, you're going to get beat. So, like I said, we're going to continue to prepare today and then play tomorrow. We're excited.
Having done as well as you did in your conference, were y'all a little disappointed to only be a 6th seed? And if so, is that any kind of motivation for you, your seeding?
We're just excited to be in the tournament. I think we always stay motivated. We kind of look at ourselves as the underdogs, honestly, this whole year. So we definitely have that, in our mind. But we're excited to be here. We're excited to play. A lot of us haven't been here yet, so I'm excited to, be here for the first time.
I think kind of what JC said, just having that underdog mentality regardless. I think there's a lot of people that didn't think we were going to be in the position that we're in right now. So I think just using that as motivation going into the tournament. Having played in the tournament before, I think just this being like a really exciting time of year, regardless, it doesn't matter what number is next to your name. At the end of the day, you still have to show up and play.
Slightly goofy question, so bear with me. So, Taylor, you're from Massillon?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you say it? And JC, you're from Dublin, which I know is right around the corner from your field village, being a big golf fan. So I take it you probably haven't been in this part of the country too much. So you're here during crawfish season. Have you or would you try a crawfish if given the chance?
Yes, I would love to try crawfish. I have never had it before. It's actually my first time being down here too, so I would love to try it.
I would not personally, not gonna lie. I'm not a big seafood. I don't like trying new things there, but I'm sure it's good.
Okay, anyone else in the room with a question? We'll take one more. All right, if not, we will go online. Jacob Myers, I see your hand up. Please unmute yourself, ask your question in its entirety so you can receive a response. Thank you. Jacob, can you hear me, Jacob?
There we go. Can you guys hear me now?
Okay, Jacob. All righty, go ahead and ask your question in its entirety.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Thanks, Taylor, JC, for the time. JC, for you, obviously you're still scoring a lot toward the end of the season before you guys had a 1 week break, but it wasn't falling for you behind the 3-point line. How maybe did some time off help you? And what are you feeling with your game there behind the line?
Yeah, that time off gave a lot of us a chance to get in the gym and get a lot of shots up. But, being a shooter, you're going to have nights where it goes in and nights where you don't. So, I don't really let that, bother my mentality at all. So just keep shooting and, eventually it's going to go in.
Okay, do we have any other online questions? Any follow-up, Jacob? Okay, I think that'll do it. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. We will feature Coach Kevin McGuff at 11:05. A recording of this press conference will be available in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us. Us today, both in person and online. Right now, we have with us Ohio State Buckeyes women's basketball head coach Kevin McGuff. We'll be taking questions in the room as well as online. We'll take the in-room questions first and then go to our online participants. Everyone, Coach Kevin McGuff. Questions?
Kevin, we talked a lot about your season and kind of how it went and developed, and you guys grew as you progressed along. But at what point or maybe what moment did you realize that you had a chance to have a pretty good team, a team that won the league, a team that did it without their starting point guard? When did you kind of start to think, okay, we got something going here pretty good?
I thought the way we came back after Christmas is when we really started to kind of come into our own. And we hadn't played as well in November, in December, and I think we're kind of feeling our way through not having Madison with us. But coming out of Christmas, I thought our mentality was really good, our focus in practice, our commitment to just continuing to get better. that's really the time where I thought we had a chance to really have a special season.
Like I asked the ladies, do you feel like a little time down will help some of them get their legs under them? And as Jacob kind of alluded, JC's three hadn't been falling. She can still get to the rim, but just in general, the shot ability, the shot selection, and not only them, but some others to step back into that role.
You know, it's such an interesting thing because with both JC and Taylor, we can take time off, but that doesn't mean they're taking time off. it's what makes them special is their commitment to their game, to getting better, and they're both the type of kids when they go through a Big Ten tournament or end of the year where they don't shoot as well. It's their reaction is not to get rest. That's my reaction. I try to get them out of the gym, but they'll find a gym to get into, and because which, quite frankly, I'd rather have that. And so we did, as a team, get some rest. I think overall that'll be good for us. We also got to work on some things I think just focused on us and not without an opponent before we knew we were playing Missouri State. But I think a combination of a little bit of the team rest and them actually getting in the gym and kind of getting the rhythm back will be hopefully all show up tomorrow.
Coach, obviously this is new territory, playing a team that played in the first four. There's a lot of ways to look at it, but how do you feel about the fact that you guys haven't played for 2 weeks and they're coming off a game, maybe allows them to get a little rhythm, maybe play a little better than they did last night? Yeah,
no, it's interesting. You're right. It's obviously a brand new thing for us or anybody in women's basketball because this kind of first four concept is new. And but it more so it is what it is. They played and we didn't, and we finally have an opponent now. That was probably the more interesting thing is usually you start the week after Sunday selection so you know who you're playing. And so we kind of split our time because, as you guys saw last night, it was a very competitive game. It could have went either way, and Missouri State played really, really well in the second half there to win the game. And so that was probably the bigger thing, I think, is not knowing who you're preparing for.
Any more thoughts? I know you haven't had to stand. So, I'm curious, were we all breaking down film of both teams
a
lot? And now that you've seen them in person, any other thoughts?
Yeah, no, they're very well coached. They play incredibly hard, very scrappy. They're very, very good defensively, and you can tell that they kind of hang their hat on their preparation and their effort on that end of the floor. I thought they were quick up the court and really good at getting to the rim. And so I know we'll have our hands full, and the other thing is they have a lot of older players who are used to winning, and they've been very successful over the years, and they're very poised. They got off to a big lead to start last night, and then Florida State made a huge run, and Missouri State never looked rattled. They kept kind of doing their thing until they got the game back under control.
I know you're the head coach of this team, but what about being a dad for a daughter playing in this tournament at Belmont?
Yeah, no, that's exciting, obviously. And so my daughter's playing. They're the 12 seed playing in Knoxville versus Oregon tomorrow. So a great opportunity for her as a freshman. She's had a great experience so far at Belmont. So certainly we play first. They play after us. So hopefully we'll be able to, have some success tomorrow, and I can, try to follow that game as much as possible.
I see it looks like your roster, you have a lot of players who have transferred in and played elsewhere. Was this using the transfer portal more? Or these players who've been on your team kind of before the transfer portal got so hot? How did your team come together the way it did?
Yeah, a combination of both. We've got a couple transfers, and mostly high school kids who have been with the program and kind of grown over the years with us. Taylor Mikesell obviously is a really big addition to our program, coming from Oregon last year, and she's been just terrific for us on and off the court and in leadership roles. So, in 2022, it's a little bit of everything. And, we'll probably, at least hopefully, always hang our hat on high school kids and just kids that mature in our program. But there's a lot of talented kids in the transfer portal, and so sometimes that'll be a part of the equation as well.
And just following up on that, I mean, your three players with tournament experience are transfers. So how huge is that for not only your juniors right now, but even some of these younger kids that are getting to see this tournament for the first time.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think they can impart some wisdom on the younger kids, and they have already, just in terms of just the focus and intensity and kind of, you know, sticking to what we do this week and trying to be the best version of ourselves. They've been really good in that regard.
Okay. Any further questions in the room? Brett?
I apologize if you addressed this before I came in. I'm sure, having been around women's college basketball a long time, you can remember days when it seemed like Baton Rouge was a first and second round host all the time. I think this is the first time in about 8 years. But what are your thoughts of now your team and experiencing the environment here with the tradition that that LSU has had in college basketball?
Yeah, so this is obviously a historic place from that standpoint with the success that they've had here, and then obviously with the hire of Kim, she's going to do an amazing job. Already has done an amazing job, and will continue to do, you know, an amazing job. And LSU will be among the best teams in the country for years to come, for sure. So I think, having said that, I expect a great environment tomorrow, even though we're not playing LSU. I think for the fans will show up, and it'll be a terrific environment for our players. And, you know, that's kind of one of the cool things about this, is you get to take your players different places around the country, and certainly this is one of the unique and special places in women's basketball. So a great opportunity for our kids to really have a terrific experience.
Okay, that'll do it for the in-room questions. Jacob, we're coming back to you. I ask that you unmute your phone.
Hey, Kevin, good to see you.
Yes.
Specifically with Missouri State and their defense, what makes them a good defensive team?
Well, one, you can tell they have a great commitment to it, and that's a big part of their identity as a program. And they coach it very well. You can tell they put a lot of time into the preparation. They play really hard, and they have a lot of experienced players who have been in that system doing that same type of defense for several years now.
Any follow-up, Jacob?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can.
Okay. On that note, in their defense, obviously you need JC and Taylor to play to their ability, but to do that, how important will it be to get other players going, so it kind of, I guess, takes some pressure and attention off of them, and they could get more free for some shots?
Yeah, no, I think that, you know, we're not gonna necessarily just beat them early in the shot clock or in transition. I think they're too good defensively for that. So collectively, our execution is going to have to be really good to generate quality shots for not only JC and Taylor, but for the entire team.
For me, just, you know, behind the scenes, how much value do you put into what Tanea and Braxton Miller, leadership-wise, have kind of meant to what you guys have been able to do this year?
No, they've been huge. They're both great kids who compete every single day in practice and on the court, and they've provided great leadership throughout the last couple of years. And they also play with some grit and some toughness that we really need.
Okay. I think that wraps us up for Ohio State University. A recording of this press conference will be available in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.